However, once again I declare the supreme truth to you. The mirror shines with greater clarity the more it is clean and polished. So we keep at it. We keep shining the mirror. There's greater and greater clarity. And I think this is something you can see in many spiritual teachers who've clearly touched the truth and are expressing it in certain ways. But I often get the impression that they've found their way of expressing it, and that's it. There isn't this shining of the mirror going on. There isn't the ongoing inquiry. And it's almost as if they've lapsed into a particular mode, which is very useful and can be very liberating for some people, for many people in fact. But my own feeling is there should be an ongoing digging, because dust accumulates. Dust can easily accumulate, and we must work to remove it. Keep shining. Let the clarity shine with ever increasing radiance. All the objects here are the measure of one's own experience or awareness. In other words, what is the quality of our awareness? What is the quality of our relationship to what is happening right here and right now? Are we caught up in these objects? Are we caught up in a particular mood? Are we caught up in a particular idea? A particular notion? What is the state of our realization right now? We can check it at any moment. There's no putting it aside. If we want to put it aside, then that is a measure of where we're at, of our awareness at that particular moment. All sounds are like the sound produced by running water. This is an interesting simile. There's probably many ways of understanding it. The sound produced by running water is constant, and yet it's always changing. Running water is always changing, and yet the sound is constant. Technically we call it white noise. White noise contains all frequencies. White noise contains all sounds. Within white noise we pick out the sounds we're inclined to pick out. It's rather like seeing shapes in the fire. You watch the fire. The fire is always changing, but it's simply flame. And within that flame, all kinds of shapes can be picked out. This is consciousness. All that is seen here is the illusory appearance of the infinite consciousness. This world has arisen like a dream. What is known as the waking state reality is a dream. It is non-different from the consciousness which is the sole reality. Hence the world is truly without form. We believe that this waking state is reality. But this is the trick of consciousness. This is the trick of consciousness. Consciousness imbues our current experience with this sense of reality. If I was in a dream, I would be convinced of the dream reality, because that's consciousness again doing its thing. If I was experiencing a hallucination, then I would be convinced in that reality. It's possible I could be convinced it's not real, but the tendency is to believe in it. If I see a rope in the dark, there's a tendency to believe it's a snake. the fears take on a life of their own. It's possible again I can be persuaded it's only a rope. If I'm hypnotized, I believe in the reality that's been fed to me, the reality fed to me by the hypnotist. Consciousness imbues whatever is experiencing with a sense of reality. When I'm watching a movie, I know it's a fabrication, but I get caught up in it as if it's real. I can be moved to tears, to terror, to joy. This is consciousness. Consciousness gives us this sense of reality. Be aware of this sense of reality. You think you're awake now and this is what's real. Everything else is dream, hallucination, hypnosis, story, false story. This is what's real, isn't it? Look at this feeling. This is the trick of consciousness. This is no more real than your dream, than a story, than a hallucination, than a mirage. What is known as the waking state reality is a dream. It is non-different from the consciousness which is the sole reality. Hence the world is truly without form. And here form is in the sense of substance. Does a dream have form? Well, it does. It has forms that are changing all the time, like the running water. But all the forms that are perceived in it are imaginary. This is the same in the waking state. There is no substance to it. They are just notions which have been given solidity. And I'll be saying something about solidity soon, I think. Tell me, O Ram, how do the earth and all the rest of it appear in this dream city? By whom has all this been fashioned? What is their real nature and what is their function? And I think I'll need to do that in the next video.